why this might not be a good idea. So here's the thing. When you back butter, the whole purpose of a back butter is partially about coverage, but mostly about bond. Now, why bond and back butter? How does that make sense? Well, as you scrape this tile with the trowel, you're actually scraping the dust and talc. You see that little white stuff on the spot I missed when I troweled? That's actually talc. And what happens is when they manufacture these tiles, there's a thin layer of talc that goes on the back. Now we got to get rid of that because coverage or bonding's worst nightmare is dust. So to get rid of that, we back butter. Well, if I use the notches on the trowel to back butter, only the edge of the notch is making contact. So as you're scraping that and trying to create bond, you're actually only touching half the tile. You'd have to go over and over and over and over again 1,000,000 times over. So the smart thing to do is to do a flat towel and then notch it if you were so inclined. Now, I personally don't like to do things twice. If I don't have to, I will, but I wouldn't want to if I don't have to. So I like to usually notch the wall because most of the time the wall is a cement board or something that's indicative of good bonding. In this case, this is drywall. So you'd either have to prime it or do what I've done here, which is skim the drywall to get rid of all that dust. So you skim the tile, skim the drywall, and now you're creating the environment that's good for bond. So at this point, I'd rather just notch the tile because it's here and we'll just do it that way. Slap a little bit more mud on here. We'll get a notch on there. And then we'll throw it on the wall. Now we're not quite built out enough. It's pretty flush there. It's got a lip there. I can go ahead and just throw that clip in there and it'll probably pull the tile out and make it look flat and I could call it a day, but that's not good coverage. This is where coverage now comes into play. So what we want to do, you push it again so you get some bleeding out of the top, bottom sides. Now you can pull the tile and you can see wherever there's ridges, that's where you were missing coverage. So right there is good coverage. Right there is bad coverage. So the wall probably does a little bit of wavy. So we're gonna add quite a bit more thin set and really push that in really hard. Shove it in deep so you can get some oozing on it. So we didn't spot it, we just gooped a lot on it. This is way too much thin set for what I need, but what I'm gonna do is push it so hard that it kind of oozes everywhere, and I'll show you how to check for coverage right after that. Go like this, and see we're proud the whole tile. We really wanna shove it in until it feels flat. Okay? Now I don't really even need clips at this point because I've had to do such a good job with the thin set and coverage that I was able to make it nice and flat. So what I'll do is I'll pop this off and we'll show you how our coverage looks. Okay, so that is pretty good coverage. It looks like I got a little bit of a spot. I could add some more, maybe up there a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. So again, we're not 5 spotting anything. We're adding where thin set's needed, and then we're pushing really hard against the wall. And that right there, friends, is perfect as far as lippage goes. Now we want to check and make sure that we're nice and plumb. Now this wall is going to get shower glass right here. So this is very critical that you make sure is nice and plumb. They say the shower glass, you know, they can kind of cheat it within an eighth or so, but do yourself a favor and try to get as close as you can.